집에서 운동했어요.
Also, I forgot to tell you guys, but the name of this Korean podcast is called Korean Podcast for Beginner number 21, 가을, which is autumn. So she is basically talking about fall time in Korea. Okay, so she told us that she really likes this season previously, but now she is explaining a little bit more what it's like fall time in Korea. So let's repeat those two sentences together. They are quite short. These ones are quite short, but that is great because we will be able to learn new word as well. Okay, so 너무 덥고 습했어요. 그래서 항상 집에서 운동했어요. So let me repeat a little bit slower for you guys. 너무 덥고 습했어요. 그래서 항상 집에서 운동했어요. Ok, comment tu fais pour avoir le... Ah, en fait, for this, it is a plugin that is only available on the computer, which is called Language Reactor. So if you want to have this part on your screen, okay, it is called Language Reactor, and it is a plugin only available to computers. Okay, so let's start right now. Also, the way it works, okay, if you are new, I make it very, very interactive so that you guys can participate as well. So let's start right now. So we have 너무, which is a word, okay? You guys are probably very familiar with this word. This is a word that you want to use it when you want to say really, very. So whenever you want to emphasize something, 너무 is one of the words that you can use in this case. And then after that, we have 덥고. So here it is from the verb 덥다. Does any of you guys know what this verb means? Comment down below if you guys know what 덥다 is. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. So what does 덥다 mean? So this is a verb that I don't want to say too much, okay? So if any of you guys know the answer, please comment down below. What is this verb from? So comment down below if you guys know the answer. Thank you so much for the follow, guys. Thank you. So what is 덥다? I'm gonna give you 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. So 덥다 is from the verb to be hot, okay? So something that is hot, okay, the verb stem is 덥 and the verb is 덥다, okay? So if you want to conjugate it, it becomes 더워요. So you have probably seen it like that. So you remove the be up and you add 워 instead. So 더워요 is how you normally conjugate this verb. And then we have the go part here. So I keep telling it. I'm going to see if any of you guys remember what that means. So comment down below if you remember what it means when you add go to either a verb, an adjective, or an action. So you can only use go with those 3. So does any of you guys know what that means? So comment down below if you guys know. Any tips? I'm studying grammar, but I don't really know where to go and how to keep the vocab in mind. So are you starting grammar from scratch? If so, I really suggest for you to make it easier to find a website that goes in order when it comes to grammar. I recommend How to Study Korean. So yeah, How to Study Korean would be good, or Talk to Me in Korean. So to follow in order, it might be easier if you feel too overwhelmed. Thank you so much for the follow, guys. Thank you. And yes, Susanna, you are correct. So go means end. However, this end is very important to remember that it is only used with verbs, adjectives, or actions. So you cannot use it with nouns or anything else, okay? You have different ways. Okay, there is maybe 10 ways to say end in Korean, and each one of them needs to be used in different contexts. So that is how you need to really remember, okay? A lot of words in Korean are used only in a specific context, and you need to use something else when it changes the context. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Can I ask? Yes, of course, you can ask. Okay, so here it means hot, and we have 습했어요. So here, okay, it is from the verb 습하다, which is to be humid. So whenever it is conjugated, okay, it becomes 습해요. However, we have a double 시옷 under here, so we know that it is actually in the past tense. Okay, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you, thank you. So yes, this is in the past tense. So it's basically saying that during fall time, okay, it was really hot and humid. So really hot and humid was. That would be how it would be translated. What mean the filter next to the YouTube text and the create? Sorry if you don't get it. I'm not sure if that's what you okay here. It's just because for my work I have some plugins that I need to add to YouTube. So that is why. Those are some plugins for things that I need for my work. So that is just why, but it's not relevant to this Korean study session. But hopefully it's helping you a little bit. So let's go to the next sentence just right here. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you, thank you. So we have 그래서 항상 집에서 운동했어요. So we have 그래서. What's the name of this channel? So the name of this channel is called 최수수. I don't know if you can see it at the bottom. Just right here. 최수수. So if you want to follow through, you can. Thank you so much for the like. Okay, so let's continue. Does any of you guys remember what 그래서 mean? Comment down below if you guys remember what 그래서 means. So we have seen it a lot of times before. And to be honest, if you're not familiar with my Korean study live streams and you follow through again and again, you will remember this word for sure. It's impossible that if you continue listening to my study session, you don't know what that word is. Okay, so that is correct. You guys are amazing. So 그래서 is used whenever you want to say so, therefore, or in other words. A lot of people have this trick of, since it's ending in so, it sounds very similar to so, right? 그래서, 그래서, right? 그래서, so. So it is very similar, sorry. So some people remember just by that. But it can either mean so, therefore, or in other words. You can use all of them, whichever you prefer. And then after that, we have 항상. So 항상 is always. So whenever you want to say something that always happen or always something, right? There is no exception. Sorry. There is no exception. Then you can use 항상. So 항상, always. Thank you so much for the like. Thank you. And then we have 집에서. So does any of you guys know what 집에서 would mean? So 집 as by himself means something, but whenever you add 에서, it becomes something else, right? So it is glued together. Does any of you guys know what 집에서 together would mean? Comment down below if you guys know or you want to guess what this 집에서 would mean together while I drink a little bit of water because my voice, I don't know what's happening today. So I'm gonna give you guys a few more seconds to try and guess what 집에서 would mean. So I see some very interesting answers that you guys are correct. So I'm gonna give you 5 more seconds if anyone wants to try and guess once again. Okay, so you guys are correct. Technically, 집에서 would mean at home. But just like Nana said, it's basically saying that there is a specific action happening at the location, which would be house. So there is something that is happening at the house. So 에서, it's very important to remember there is a specific action. So it is only used with action verbs compared to just 에, that is just a location that simply exists. So the difference is that 에 particle, it is a particle of time of location. Okay, you guys probably know by now, but it is only used when the location exists and 에서 when there is an action. That is the only thing that you need to remember. And then after that, we have 운동했어요. So it is from the verb 운동하다, which is to work out. Here, once again, since there is a double 시였던데 here, we know that it is in the past tense. So it's basically saying worked out. So therefore, in other words, okay, we know that the subject is her, but she is not saying it because we are already aware. So she always worked out at home. So that would be how this sentence would be translated. Hello, Stefan. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm doing great, and you? And thank you so much for the follow, guys. Thank you. So let me repeat the words. So therefore, in other words, always at home, worked out. Okay, past tense, worked out. So she always used to work out at home. So that would be how this sentence is translated. So we will be jumping to the next sentences. However, if you have any questions about those two, please feel free to comment down below and I will go back. What does 너무 mean? So 너무 is a word that you want to use that means either really or very. So whenever you want to emphasize something, you can use 너무 in front of it. So 너무, really, very. 덥고 is from the verb 덥다, which is to be hot, so very hot. That would be how you translate that from Korean to English. So let's continue with the next one, but like I just said, if you have any questions, at any time, feel free to ask.
그런데 요즘 날씨가 시원해요. 그래서 밖에서 운동해요.
Okay, so let's repeat those two sentences now. 그런데 요즘 날씨가 시원해요. 그래서 밖에서 운동해요. So let me repeat a little bit slower for you guys. 그런데 요즘 날씨가 시원해요. 그래서 밖에서 운동해요. So let's translate everything together. We have 그런데, which is in the same category of word as 그래서 that we saw previously and that she put once again. So those words are words that are mostly found at the beginning of the sentences and are very, very, very common. So you will see a lot of words starting by 그 in Korean. So does any of you guys know what 그런데 mean? Comment down below if you guys know what 그런데 is. I'm trying to see if any of you guys know what that means while I drink a little bit of water once again because I really don't know what's happening with my voice. So comment down below if you guys know what 그런데 means. So I'm going to give you a few more seconds, okay? If you don't know the answer, it's totally fine. You can still try and try, yeah. Because it's okay if we all do mistakes, right? That is how we learn. So I'm going to give you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So you guys are correct. You're having such a great answer. So yes, 그런데 means but. In French, that can be cependant. But in English, you can say but. So, or however as well. So, but or however can be both answers that can be used to translate 그런데. So, but, however, 요즘, which is these days. So, 요즘, right? 요즘 is a word that is used in time. So, it is related to time these days. We have 날씨가. Does any of you guys know what 날씨 would mean? Comment down below if you know what 날씨가 would mean, or just 날씨, right? Comment down below if you guys know what that means. Gonna give you a few seconds, okay? Try and see if you guys know what 날씨가 would be. And if you don't know, it's totally fine. You can still try and guess because that is how we learned. Even if you are not sure what that is, okay? Even if you still try, that is the most important part. Okay, so 날씨가, I'm gonna give you a few more seconds. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes, you guys are correct. So 날씨가 is weather, okay? And then we have 시원해요, which is normally from the verb 시원하다. Does any of you guys know what 시원하다 would be? Comment down below. I'm trying to see if you guys would know this verb. It's a little bit harder, but I'm trying to see if you guys know. Hello, Cyrillian. Thank you so much for being here today. How are you doing? So what is 시원해요? So it is also related to the weather. So it is a type of temperature. Okay, so I'm trying to see if any of you guys know what 시원해요 would mean. I'm going to give you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So you guys are correct. This is to be cool. So you know when it's not hot, it's not cold, but it's just like a little bit windy, like just fresh, cool. That is how you want to use this verb. So it is to be cool. So it's basically saying that, but these days the weather is cool. So it's not hot, it's not cold, it's like in between, like the right temperature, right? When it's a little bit windy. So that is how you would translate that word. And then for the next sentence, we have 그래서, which is so, therefore, in other words. Okay, we have seen it a lot of time. I was there last time. Oh, thank you so much for being here once again. How are you doing, Cerilyn? 안녕하세요, Sophie. 어떻게 지내요? Thank you so much for being here once again. I really, really appreciate it. So we have 그래서, which means so, therefore, in other word. Yes, thank you. I remember the white heart, right? So everyone that was there Sunday knows about the white heart. Thank you so much for the rose, Sophie. Thank you. You're the best. Thank you so much for the follow, guys. Thank you. Also, if you're new, don't forget to follow me just right here. I go live 3 to 5 times each week where we study Korean just like this together. So let's continue now. 안녕. So we have so, 그래서, so therefore, in other words. Then we have 밖에서. So does any of you guys know what 밖에서 would mean? Comment down below if you guys know what would that mean. 안녕. Thank you so much for being here. How are you doing? So comment down below if you know what 밖에서 would mean. I'm gonna give you, okay, a little bit of time. Okay, so I'm going to give you a few more seconds if you want to try and guess what 밖에서 would mean. So once again, we see again the particle 에서, which once again is associated with time or location, and that means there is a specific action happening at the location. So I'm giving you guys a lot of hints. Thank you so much for the finger heart, Sophie. Thank you. 고마워요. Indoors was a guess, and it is the opposite. Yes, you are correct, Stefan. So 밖에서 is outside. So yes, this is the opposite of inside. What is the YouTube channel name? So it's called 채수수. I don't know if you guys can see it well. Okay. What's the difference between using 입니다, 해요 in the verb? So it really depends. So for example, this is from the verb, right, that is ending in 하다. So verbs that are ending in 하다 becomes 해요 when they are conjugated in the second level of formality. So we have the casual, which you drop the 요, so it would be 시원해. First level, which is very, very casual. You use it with your friends, people that you are very close to, or someone younger than you. Then you have the second level of formality, which is whenever you see the 요, so you want to use it 시원해요 with people that are older than you or that you are not close to. So this is the second level of formality. And then we have the third level of formality, which is 합니다. So for example, the verb ending in 하다, when there is the third level, okay, so it is the maximum level of formality. Okay, you can use 합니다. So for example, it would be 시원합니다. Okay, so if you translate it in the third one, okay, 시원합니다. So to be cool, but in the very top level. So in that case, you want to use that level when you are talking with someone of higher status, someone that is way older than you, or at work. So these are when you want to use 합니다, 씁니다, 입니다. So hopefully this is helping you understand better. What are your biggest tips for learning Korean for a beginner who only knows Hangul? So I always say it, but after learning Hangul, the next thing, oh, it says it there. Huh? Come from the verb being 해요, it comes from the verb doing. So 감사합니다. Yes, 감사합니다 would be like the third level of formality. So I wanted to say, oh yeah, you're correct, Stefan. So yes, the next tip that I have after you learn Hangul, I will never say it enough, but you don't need to, it is optional, of course, everything is optional, but Hanja. Hanja is very, very important to learn in your Korean journey. Oh, thank you so much you're awesome. Thank you. You're awesome too. You're the best. Thank you. So is Hangul written like Hangul? Yeah, exactly. That is correct. So Hanja is the next thing that you need to learn after learning Hangul, because basically if you are not familiar, 60% of Korean language is based off Chinese characters. So just by learning the meaning behind a block of letters in Korean, you are basically able to understand 60% of Korean vocabulary words without ever seeing them before. So I'm not sure if I have any example here right now, but for example, like the block of letters right here, 60% of them have a meaning behind them. So by learning Hanja, you are basically understanding right off 60% of Korean language just by learning Hanja. That is as easy as that. Where can I learn Hanja? So you can go on Google. Yeah, there is like a howtostudykorean.com. They have a section called Hanja. I also have my Korean study planner that I am selling that you can buy, first link in my description. That also includes some Hanja parts. So you get to learn 25 Hanja block of word with my Korean study planner. So you can either go howtostudykorean.com or with my planner, however you like. So, I think I'm missing a lot of comments. Sorry, I cannot read that fast. Is this your YouTube channel? No, this is not my YouTube channel, but I really, really like this content creator. Okay, so let's continue now, okay? But if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. Also, I just want to mention, if I skip your comment by accident, I don't mean to do that. It's just sometimes the comments go so fast that I try to read everything, so you can just comment again if you really want me to answer to your question, okay? I'm trying my best, so hopefully you guys understand. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. So let's continue now, right? We are here to study Korean. So, 운동해요, which is from the verb 운동하다 that we saw earlier. How do you put this alt subtitles on top of the YouTube one? So this is a this is a computer plugin that is only available on the computer. It's called Language Reactor. So this will give you this on the screen if you do Language Reactor. So hopefully this is helping you guys better. Okay, so we have 운동해요, which is from the verb 운동하다, which is to exercise. So she is saying that, so therefore, in other word, she exercised outside because the weather has been cool recently. So that would be how those two sentences are. These days the weather is cool. So she exercised outside. So that would be how those two sentences are translated. Thank you so much for the follow and the like. Thank you. You guys are the best. So let's continue with the next sentences. However, once again, if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below.
요즘 아침에 공원에서 달리기를 해요. 달리기 할 때 기분이 좋아요.
Okay, so let's repeat everything together. 요즘 아침에 공원에서 달리기를 해요. 달리기 할 때 기분이 좋아요. So let's repeat a little bit slower. 요즘 아침에 공원에서 달리기를 해요. 달리기 할 때 기분이 좋아요. Okay, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. When is the real L and when R? So basically when it is either a patsim under here that is ending just right like that, or there is another consonant after, it will sound like a L. So here it's 달리기. Because since the real right here, right, is with another consonant after that, it sounds like a L, even though here, right, there is a vowel after. So if it is there two times, most of the time it's going to be sounding like an L. However, if there is a vowel that comes after that, even if it's a patsim, then it sounds like an R. I mean, it's not really R, but it's like in between those two. So that is when you want to pronounce it the other way. So for example, 사랑, okay? So since there is a A after the riel, it is 사랑. But here, okay, since there is another consonant, it sounds more like an L. So let's continue now. Let's just translate everything, right? So we have 요즘. Okay. Oh my God. Thank you. You're welcome. Hopefully this is helping you understand better. Like 사랑. Yes, exactly. Like to love. 사랑하다. Then it is pronounced more like R than an L. Okay, so does any of you guys remember what 요즘 mean? Comment down below because we have seen it before, but I'm trying to see if you guys followed correctly this study session, right? So comment down below if you guys know what 요즘 mean. Comment down below, okay? We have seen it about 15-ish minutes ago. So comment down below if you guys know what 요즘 would mean. Comment down below. I'm gonna give you a few more seconds if you want to try and guess what 요즘 mean. Comment down below. I'm giving you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You guys are doing amazingly. Girl, I forgot. It's okay, no worries. We are all here to learn, so you don't need to be, how can I say that, ashamed or embarrassed because first of all, we are all at different levels, so it's normal that we don't know the same words. And second of all, we are here to learn, so there is no judgment always. So 요즘 is these days. That is correct. So you want to use that whenever you want to say these days. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you, thank you. And then we have 아침에. So 아침, we know that it is morning. I'm not ashamed. If I was, I wouldn't be on the stream. Oh, it's okay, yeah. I'm just saying for anyone that would be because I know a lot of people are just watching and scared to comment because they don't know the answer. So I just want to clarify for everyone on here that, this live is no judgment at all. We are here to learn. So it was not specifically for you, but just in general. So 아침에. 아침 is morning. We know once again that since there is the e particle, it is a location or a time. So you can say in the morning. That would be the correct translation to this with this particle added to it. Also, this particle is always glued to it. Okay, you will never see it hang out by himself. It's always glued to the location or the time. Then we have 공원에서. So I think in this podcast, she really, really likes to put the e and eso particle. So there are a lot of locations actually in this one. I subscribe. Well, that's cool. I really hope you enjoyed this channel. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. Okay, so 공원에서. 공원 is park. Once again, we have the eso particle, which is a particle of time or location. So that means that there is a specific action happening at the park. Okay, so specific location happening at the park, which is this. Okay, the action is to run. How long it took you to learn Korean? So I'm not fluent in Korean, but I have been learning Korean on and off for about 3 years, but I have been consistent with my studies since January this year. So yes, let's continue. So we have 달리기를, which is from the verb 달리하다. Why is 해요 separated from the verb? Here in this case, it is separated because technically this one is not how can I say that? It doesn't have the purpose of a verb. So technically it is transformed since there is the 를 particle right here. It is transformed as, I think, a noun because in Korean, for anyone that is new, you can actually transform verbs into adjectives, nouns, and adverbs. And you can transform nouns and adjectives into verbs as well. So they can just switch their purposes. So since in English, this is not something that is, you cannot transform a verb into a noun, right? So in this case, sorry. In this case, I'm not sure in which category of words in English it would be because I'm not great in English. However, I know that in this case, it doesn't have the purpose anymore of a verb. So it is a word instead of a verb in this case. So hopefully this is helping you understand better. We will get more into it a bit later. What's the channel? It is called 채수수. I don't know if you see on the bottom left. So it is like saying going on a run instead of I'm going running. Yeah, that would be correct. So technically here it's more a run. Okay, so it's not a verb. And then we have 하다, which is separated, so doing. So doing the run. That would be a little bit, okay, how you can directly translate it from Korean to English. I know it's very, very difficult. There is a lot of difficult things in Korean language. But yes, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. So yes, it's basically saying like doing the run. If that makes any sense in English. So these days in the morning, okay, she's doing a run at the park. So she's going there to go run, basically. But it's not like she's running, it's going on the run more. The translation, like Remo said, would be the most accurate translation for that one. So these days in the morning at the park, run, doing. Okay, hopefully it makes sense to you guys now. Let's go with the second part. So as you can see, the verb also to run. However, in this case, it is put also into a word. So it doesn't have the purpose of a verb anymore. So 달리기 할 때. So here, in this case, we have 때 that means when. So it's basically saying when running. Okay, so while she runs, also that can be another way we can translate that to Korean. However, if you want a direct translation, it would be when running. However, technically this word, which is from a verb originally, doesn't have the purpose of a verb anymore in the sentence in Korean. So I know there is a lot of things to unpack here, but if we go slowly, I'm sure every one of you guys will be able to understand. Still not more difficult than sketch. Who made Korean had to be really bored. Oh really, sketch is even harder. That is interesting. Maybe that won't be a language that I will be learning, because if it's harder than Korean, I don't think I will get into it. So we have 기쁜이. So you King Sejong. Technically, King Sejong is the one that invented Hangul. However, the Korean language was already created before. It's really funny because I started yesterday a Korean music class. So it's about like history of music in Korea. And she was telling us that basically King Sejong only created the writing system, so Hangul. He only created Hangul. However, the language Korean was already existing, but they were using Chinese characters to write in Korean. So the language already existed. They spoke Korean, but they didn't have a writing system for it. So they were using Chinese characters instead. And then when King Sejong was like, okay, let me create a writing system, that is when they started to use then the Hangul that we know already. So yeah, that was very interesting. I didn't know that either, but now you guys know as well. Portuguese is really hard too, lol. Oh, really? I had a coworker before that was Brazilian and spoke Portuguese, and it seemed fun. Okay, may someone bless him that we don't write in Chinese characters. Yes, technically, after learning that yesterday, I was like, thank God he invented that, because if we had to write in Chinese characters, I would have probably quit a long time ago. So yes, that is a very fun fact that now you guys know as well. Okay, so here it's basically saying when running, once again, 기쁜이, which is a mood or feeling. So it is whenever you want to express something that you are feeling inside of you, okay, feeling a mood. And then we have 좋아요, which is from the verb 좋다, which is good, to be good, okay? So it's basically saying feeling good. So when she runs, okay, when running, she feels good. That would be how this sentence would be translated. Is it like saying running makes me feel good? Yes, you can also translate it to this. However, since there is the te, it's basically saying like when running. So it is something that she feels when she runs. So she feels good when she runs. So this is a little bit more specific, but technically you can still translate that to this. It would have a similar meaning to this sentence. But yes, since it's using when, which is te, we know that it is when running, or you can say while running. Also, that can be another translation that could work. So let's continue with the next sentences. However, once again, if you have any questions about those ones, feel free to comment down below and I will answer as soon as I see it. Also, if you are new, just a small recap. If you are new, don't forget to follow me just right here. I go live 3 to 5 times each week where I study Korean together, just like today. Also, I want to say, okay, thank you so much for the follow and the like. Thank you, thank you. I want to say that I actually opened my YouTube channel. If you guys are interested to follow, the link is in my description. So I will be publishing again those live streams after probably a couple of days after. So if you are not able to make it one day, or you want to review things that we have seen today that you didn't write, it will also be available on my YouTube channel. So the whole live will be available. You will be able to pause, write, do whatever you want. So I already opened it, but I haven't published any lives yet. I will try to do that this week. So yes, oh yes, interested. Yes, I'll follow. Thank you so much. And I will also be publishing other videos than the live streams. But yes, for now, I will start with the live streams and try to film videos. If you have any videos ideas that you would be interested of me filming, please let me know as well. Do you go live every week? Yes, I go live 3 to 5 times each week. So normally it is from Tuesdays till Thursdays. And then sometimes I add 1 or 2 more days during the week that are not official. So this week I will be going live officially from Tuesday till Thursdays at the same time. So 1 p.m. EST time zone, which is about 40 minutes from now. Okay, 40 minutes ago. And I will be going those 3 days, as well as Sunday morning at 11 a.m., which is basically I think 3 hours from now. I'm not sure, 3 or 4 hours. I'm not sure. 5 times, yeah, I haven't done 5 times in a long time. Normally I go live 4 times each week. So yes, that is a lot. That is a lot of times that I go lives. But it also forced me to study Korean, so that's why I also do that. What is your channel called, please? It's called Audrey in Seoul. So it is the same name as my channel, but the link is under my description. However, it is called Audrey in Seoul. I would really be interested in knowing how you went about learning Korean as a video idea. Okay, perfect. I will take a screenshot of that to remember. Thank you for the ideas. Okay, hope to always catch up with you. I'm really lazy at studying alone. That is amazing. I hope that you will be able to come very often. And like I said, you will still be able to listen to the study live streams on YouTube at your own time. So if you cannot join, you can always do that, because I know it's very hard to study by yourself. So if we are a big group of people, it's even better. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you, thank you. So let's continue now. But if you have any questions, okay, comments, anything, comment down below.
그리고 산책도 자주 해요. 저는 점심을 먹은 후에 산책을 해요.
Bruh, I just can't read and write nothing more. I just don't get it. Why don't you get it? Like, the words? Is that what you mean? Okay, so let's repeat everything together. 그리고 산책도 자주 해요. 저는 점심을 먹은 후에 산책을 해요. So let me repeat a little bit slower. Let me run to YouTube and follow you before I miss that. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. 그리고 산책도 자주 해요. 저는 점심을 먹은 후에 산책을 해요. Okay? Grammar. Grammar is very difficult at first, but if you, for example, listen to my Korean study Korean study live stream, sorry. Should I make podcasts? But yes, Korean study live streams, you will get more familiar with the Korean structure. And if you do that by yourself as well, you go watch videos on YouTube, anywhere, and then you just break down word by word and understand better the Korean, how it is placed, the words, it will be easier for you to understand how the sentences are structured. So personally, I have been doing those live streams since January. When I started, I had a good base in understanding Korean, but there were a lot of words that I was not familiar with, or grammar patterns that I didn't know before that now I know because of those Korean podcasts. So it's very, very useful to do that each week. Okay, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you, thank you. So let's translate everything now together. We have 그리고. Does any of you guys remember what 그리고 mean? Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you, thank you. So what does 그리고 mean? So it is once again a word that is used and is in the same category of words of all the words that start in 그. So they don't have the same meaning, but they are all in the same category of words. So they are connective words. Connective words. So I'm going to give you a couple more seconds to comment down below what 그리고 means. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes, you guys are correct. 그리고 means and. 저는 is I. Yes, exactly. 저는 would be high. Not high, but I. Okay, so yes, 그리고 means and. However, I just want to specify, like I mentioned earlier, there are different ways to say and in Korean, and each one of them have a different purpose. So you want to use them in specific context. In this case, 그리고 is used when you want to connect two sentences together without putting them together. So if the sentence is too long, you can cut the sentence, add 그리고, and finish with your thought so that it's clearer for people. So you can still sometimes see it in the middle of the sentence, but most of the time, I would say maybe 90% of the time, it's going to be found at the beginning of the sentence. So 그리고 and most likely beginning of the sentence, and it connects two sentences together. That is what you need to remember. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you, thank you. And then we have 선택도. So it is technically from the verb 선택을 하다, which is to do a walk. Basically, all the verbs that have 하다 is doing something. So a lot of times, the verb 해요 will be paired with not another verb, but it will be paired with, is it an adjective? Noun? Not sure. How would you say and in Korean if you would say my cat and dog? There is multiple ways that you can say my cat and dog. You can use 하고. In this case, it is used with noun. If you want to say, for example, my cat and dog, but more like together, you can say 랑 right after. That could work as well. So I would say the best one would be 하고랑. You can also use 화과, but this 화과 is only used in written form. So you won't, except me right now repeating it, but you won't hear it in conversations. Like spoken conversations, you won't use 화과. It is mostly in formal settings and also in written forms. What about 와? Yeah, exactly. So 와 and 과, right? Those are both the same, just depending on if there is a context or a vowel. But you only use it in formal settings and written form. So you don't use it in conversations. So if you want to say my cat and dog, you can either use 하고 or 랑. Both of them would work. You cannot just use 고. Like you need to add 하고. Because if you use just the 고, it's with verbs, adjectives, or nouns. So since cat and dog are not one of those three, not nouns, sorry. Verbs, adjectives, and actions. So since cat and dog are none of these things, you cannot use 고. You need to use 하고 or 랑. Okay, so let's continue now. Okay, thank you. You're welcome. So 선택도. 선택 is a walk. Okay, so on itself, it is originally, I guess, a noun, which is walk. Okay, and then if you pair it with 하다, which is the verb to do, it's basically saying doing a walk. In English, doesn't make any sense. In Korean, that's how it works. Simple as that. You know, sometimes you're trying to not make a meaning, but try to understand. But sometimes Korean, there is no answer. You just need to accept it. Yeah, I learned to do. That is amazing. That is a verb that you are gonna see a lot. Very sorry. I think my dog is dreaming right now. So if you hear some noises, she is sleeping and dreaming. Okay, so 선택도, taking a walk. We have the 또 particle. Does any of you guys remember what 또 mean? So 또 is always glued to another word. So comment down below if you know the meaning of 또. Right? Comment down below if you know what that means when you add 또 to another word. So you will never see it alone. It is always glued to another word. Okay, so I'm going to be drinking a little bit of water while I wait for your answer. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. So you guys are correct. To is used whenever you want to say to or also. That both of them could work. So whenever you want to say to or also, you can use to. However, if you want to say multiple things or also that way or to, you need to add it to each word. So it's not like in English, you won't say, I'm going on a walk, also going to the movie theater, also going shopping, right? You won't say that in English. You will say, I'm also going to shop, movie theater, and walk, right? But in Korean, you always need to add the to each word that you want to say also. So it can be very confusing, okay? But you need to add it to each word that you want to say also. So sometimes you can see it like 4 times in one sentence and it works. So taking a walk also. 자주. So does any of you guys know what 자주 mean? Comment down below if you guys know what 자주 means. So it is also a word of frequency. So I'm giving you a lot of hints today, but this is a word of frequency. So based on that, can you guys try and guess what 자주 mean? I see a lot of great answers. I'm going to give you a few more seconds just in case any of you guys want to try and guess what 자주 means. So comment down below. Gonna give you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, you guys are correct. So 자주 is often. So it is a verb of frequency. 자주, often. 해요, which is from the verb 하다, to do. So it's basically saying that and walk, also often doing. Okay, so she often goes or walks also. So she's going on walks often. That would be the best way to translate it from Korean to English. But if you want to make sense with the Korean structure, okay, it is and a walk, also, often, doing. So hopefully this is helping you understand better how Korean sentences are structured. I know it can be difficult because it's completely the opposite of English, but the more you see it and you practice it, the easier it's going to come, I swear to you guys. Thank you so much for the follow, guys. Thank you. Also, if you are new, don't forget to follow me just right here. I go live 3 to 5 times each week where I study Korean together, just like that. So let's continue with the next sentence. We have 저는. Like I mentioned earlier, 저는 is I. Thank you so much for the follow, guys. Thank you. So 저는 is I. However, whenever you want to use 저는, you need to make sure that the sentence is either ending in 요, 합니다, 셉니다, 입니다, because 저는 is only used in some type of formality. So as soon as the sentences are slightly formal, you need to use 저는. However, if you want to talk casually, in this case, you need to use 나는. Okay, so you need to remember if you are talking with a friend or someone younger and you want to talk casually, you cannot end the sentences in 요. So it would be like 나는 점심을 먹은 후에 산책을 해. Okay, that would be like that if it was casual. However, you cannot do the opposite. Use 나는 with 요. This doesn't work. So you cannot say 나는 점심을 먹은 후에 산책을 해요. That doesn't work. So you need to make sure that whenever you use one of those, they are paired together. And 저는요. Yes, you can say that. So you can say 저는 살이인이에요. I was trying to see how we can pronounce your name in Korean. But yes, that would be how you can say my name is in Korean. It's basically saying I am my name. I am Audrey. So Audrey, right? 저는 Audrey예요. So I am Audrey. That would be the correct translation. Hello. Thank you so much for being here today. How are you doing? And thank you so much for the like. Okay, so let's continue. So 저는 I. We have 점심을. 점심을 is whenever you want to use it. Do you guys know what that means? Okay, so you know together what that means, but let's ignore that. What does 점심 on its own mean? Comment down below if you know what 점심 would mean on its own. If you guys know, comment down below. It technically can have two different meaning. So if you guys know both meanings, you can comment down below the answer. So if you guys know what 점심 means, comment down below. What does 점심 would mean? Comment down below if you know the answer. I'm gonna give you a few more seconds to give the answer, right? So I'm gonna give you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so I think it was a little bit harder for some people, but 점심을 is basically lunch. So most of the time it is associated with the food, okay, so the lunch that you eat. However, sometimes it can also mean lunchtime. So if you also use 점심, for example, 점심에, right, that we know it would be with a time particle, it becomes that it is during lunchtime. So yes, however, here we have 먹은, which is from the verb 먹다. So it's basically saying that eating lunch. However, the verb 먹다 in this case doesn't have the purpose anymore of a verb as well. So in English, I don't know which category of words it would fall into because my English is not great. But it would be basically verbs ending in ing. So verb ending in ing. So eating lunch. So that would be how it would be translated. So eating lunch. So you guys are amazing still. A lot of people, not a lot, a few people knew the answer. So after that, continuous present. Yes, thank you so much. I know a lot of people have been commenting that and I keep forgetting because I swear I have learned English so long ago that I don't remember the name of all the category of words. Maybe I would know in French, but English it's a little bit harder. Does Korean have cases or something? Sketch has 7 cases. I just want to know which one is easier. Cases, what does that mean? Your English is perfect. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Have to go now, but I will see you later. What is the emoji of the day? Okay, so let's pick very quickly an emoji of today. Which emoji should we pick today, guys? Comment down below an emoji, and I'm gonna choose that so that Stefan is aware of what the emoji of today is. Hi, hello, thank you so much for being here today. How are you doing? Or Stefan, if you want to pick the emoji for today, you can do that. Comment down below. Okay, let's do that. Let's do the tangerine emoji. That okay. Yeah, orange, tangerine. Yeah. So this is gonna be the emoji of today. Okay, so yes. So if anyone is not familiar how it works, the emoji of today is basically to let us know that everyone that was in this live today. So for example, if you see one of my video on your For You page, you can just comment this emoji and I will know that you were there today. Or for my next study session, if you come to my next study session, you can just comment this emoji and I will know that you guys were here today. So it's like a kind of secret code between each other. So only those of us that are here today in this live streams know that we need to send a little yes, orange, tangerine emoji. A case is just a label for how a noun or pronoun functions in a sentence. It's not, it, oh my god, it's she, it, like the, okay, yeah, so it's the tangerine orange one for today. So I will repeat it after, but yes, that is, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. So I forgot what I wanted to say, but so like you mean like how can I say that? Not pronounce, but like I, you, he, she, it, like this. Is that what you're talking about, Cyrillian? I'm not sure. If you are talking about that, in Korean, there is not much because you cannot really say you in Korean. You can say me, and you can say, for example, that person. So I guess there would be only 2. I might be mistaken, but I think there might be like 2-ish. But yes, because normally it's rude to call someone like, for example, another pronounced than its name. So most of the time when you are talking about someone else that is not you, you can just call that person name or title. Is it like how German has nominative, accusative? What does that mean? I'm sorry. English is not my first language, so I'm not sure what nominative and accusative mean. Because catch has nominative, accusative. No, I have no clue what that means. So basically, I learned mostly English by myself. So I didn't learn what category of. I know in sketch only. Yeah, I don't think I will understand if you explain to me in sketch only. But yeah, so I mostly learned English by myself. So I don't know like the category of. I might know in French. So if you know the answer in French, you can comment down below. But I'm pretty sure most of you guys don't know. So that is very hard. Okay, so let's continue now, right? If we want to finish someday. German has all these forms of pronouns depending on whether it's the object or subject. Ah, okay, that makes sense. But yes, in Korean, it doesn't really exist. So you have the I, which is 저는, 나는. Technically, you have you, which is either 너는 or 당신. 당신 is used whenever in more romantic settings. And also, 너는 is very rude. So you can only use that in with people that you are very, very close to. So don't use that with anyone. Other than that, there is no you in Korean. So whenever you want to talk about someone specific or to someone, you can just call their names even though they are in front of you and you are only with them, right? You are just the two of them. You can just call their name. I know in English it sounds very weird, yeah, right? You're not talking to someone and saying, right, what about you, Audrey, right? Because you would say, what about you? But in Korean, they would say, in that case. So hopefully it is better for you to understand. I don't know if that makes sense. But yes, so you can either use their name or their titles if you know their titles. So if they are, for example, I don't know, journalist, you can use their title with 씨 or 님. So for example, 기사님, or you, for me, if it was me, okay, you know my name is Audrey. So Audrey, Audrey. So you can say either Audrey 씨, it's a little bit formal, or Audrey 님, Audrey 님. That would also work. So hopefully it is helping you understand a little bit better. So let's continue with that. But if you have more questions about that, please let me know. Who, what, accusative, whom, what. Okay, so for example, are you saying like 누구, 뭐? Is that what you're saying? Like those words? I'm not sure if I understand. So who would be 누구? What would be either 무슨 or 뭐? And yeah. Not sure if it is what you mean, but hopefully it makes sense. So let's continue now. So we have, right, I, lunch, eating. We have hué. Does any of you guys know what hué would be? Comment down below if you guys would know what hué is. So it is kind of associated with time as well. Like nominative is like asking who and what on a subject. Ah, okay. So like who did this or like things like that. Not sure if I'm being in the right direction or not. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. So does any of you guys know what hué is? So we have seen it a couple of times before, I think in my study session. So does any of you guys know what hué would mean? Comment down below if you know the answer while I drink a little bit of water once again. So does any of you guys know? If not, I'm going to give you the answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So hué is after. So whenever you want to say, sorry. Oh my God, my throat. Okay, I can do this. I don't know why my throat is having such issues today. But hué is after. And something that is very interesting with Korean language is that, of course, it's the opposite with English. So in English, you would say, for example, after eating lunch. However, in this case, the after comes after the reason, right? So it's basically, I lunch eating after. So you always use after the reasoning of something. Okay? So you cannot use it before, like 저는 후에 점심을 먹은. That wouldn't work. You need to use it after, absolutely. Then we have 선택을 해요. So once again, like we mentioned previously, 선택 is a walk. And then 해요 is from the verb 하다. Technically together it can exist 하다, which would be doing a walk, like walking. However, in this case, 선택 part doesn't have the purpose of a verb anymore, so it is more put into a word. So it's basically saying doing a walk or like going on a walk. That can also work. So here it would say that after, sorry, I just need to do that for the sound. It's so annoying. Okay. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. So it's basically saying that after, okay, she ate lunch, she goes on a walk. So that would be how you translate this sentence from Korean to English. So let me repeat one more time. I, lunch, eating, after, a walk, doing, or going. That would be how you can translate that. So hopefully it makes sense for you guys. I will continue on. No, I don't think we will have time for one more sentence. So that will be the end for today. Do you guys have any questions? This is the question time portion of today. So if you have any questions about those sentences or in general, please feel free to ask down below. I will stay a couple more minutes. Also, if you are new, don't forget to follow me just right here. I go live 3 to 5 times each week where we study Korean together, just like today. If you also want, under my description, okay, there is a link that you can find also my YouTube channel. So if you miss one of those Korean study sessions, I will be posting them a couple of days after on my YouTube channel. So you will also be able to either rewatch if you have missed some parts, or also if you just want to review things, or if you were not there as well. So you can follow me there on YouTube if you guys are interested. And a last thing I also wanted to say, that I also post videos daily on TikTok giving tips on how to study Korean. So if you are interested, you can also always watch them because I put a lot of time and effort into them as well. Did you use any app to study Korean? Personally, I have not used specific apps when using Korean. I feel like recently I have been more into Pingo AI to practice my speaking, because I feel like since I came back from Korea, oh, thank you so much for the heart me. Thank you. I really appreciate. You're the best, Nana. But since I came back from Korea, I feel like I haven't practiced my speaking that much. So I have been using Pingo AI to help me practice my speaking, because I don't always have people to practice with my speaking. So I use that app, but other than that, I don't really use apps. I think because I have created some study planner. Also, okay, I know this is a lot of info all at once, but I also have the free study planner that I created that you can also get the link under my description. But I mostly follow those study planners that I created to study Korean. So that's why I don't use apps, because I use my planners to study Korean with other resources like websites, YouTube videos, all those stuff. So yes, hopefully this is helping you understand better. Merci Audrey, à bientôt. Merci beaucoup Anne-Louise d'être là aujourd'hui. J'apprécie vraiment beaucoup, puis en espérant qu'on va se voir la prochaine fois aussi. So does any of you guys have any questions? If not, we will see each other tomorrow as well at the same time. Also, don't forget, the emoji for today is the tangerine, orange, okay, one, which means that next study session, so tomorrow, if you are joining us, you can just comment this emoji and I will know that you were there today. Or also, if you see any of my videos on your For You page, you can then comment this emoji and I will know that you guys were there today as well. So yes, does any of you guys have any more questions? If not, that will be the end for today. But like I just mentioned, we will continue this podcast tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Thanks for answering everything. Thank you so much for being here, Nana. I really appreciate it. And I will see you tomorrow. Is grammar hard? So I feel like maybe when you start, Korean grammar might be a little bit difficult. However, the more you persist and you stay consistent, the easier you will, the more you will think that Korean is easy. But it takes time. Super intéressant, merci. Merci beaucoup d'avoir été là aujourd'hui, j'apprécie. What time tomorrow? So the same time, so from an hour ago until now. So in your time zone, from an hour ago, that is when I'm going to start the Korean study session tomorrow. But yes, so for the grammar, I would say it might be very difficult at first, but the more you practice, you get familiar with, and also the more you stay consistent, the easier it's gonna get, because at the end of the day, Korean follows the same pattern again and again and again. So once you understand this pattern, you will see that Korean is actually quite easy. So yes, but it's just you need a little bit of time for your brain to process all of that. And once it figures out and understand well, then you will see that grammar becomes easy. So yes, do you guys have any more questions? If not, I will see you guys tomorrow once again. But I'm just trying to see if you guys have few more questions. This is the last time that you can ask any questions. If not, it's only gonna be tomorrow, so I will wait 1 more minute. If no one has any questions, I'm gonna go. But if you are new, also don't forget to follow me just right here. So yes, do you guys have any more questions? If not, we will see each other tomorrow. But I'm very grateful for everyone that is able to join. And you guys are so participative. I don't know if that's a word in English, but I'm very grateful for everyone that is participating and just wants to literally listen to me yapping for a whole hour. Very, very grateful for that. So since no one has any questions, I will go for today, but we will see each other tomorrow, okay? Thank you so much. 안녕히 계세요, 여러분. 안녕. 안녕.